as much as I love Wicked, the book, the soundtrack of the first play, I never listened to Cynthia and Ariana sing them songs, and I haven't seen either of the movies. But everybody's like, Cynthia's singing Defying Gravity, but there's just something about the way Adele Dazeem hits The Wizard and I that I don't want to hear nobody else sing them songs. Even little bitty Christian, who was a little bitty, Christian Chenoweth, who was like, "Oh, we are Charlie Kirk." Even my girl, my good Christian bitch, she's like, we not mad at her, but I don't want to hear Ariana sing her songs. That's how I feel about it. Even though I've never seen the play, and I'm only familiar with the story because I read the book. Well, actually, I didn't read the book. I was given the book to read the book by a guy who I couldn't tell if he liked me or not, because he used to date my friend, but we also found a large amount of gay porn in his closet. So it was a confusing time. He also, that's when I lived in Texas. That's when he hit my hand and scratched me. And I genuinely thought it was funny, like the irony. But I think he got in trouble because obviously you can't go around hitting people and then just having no kind of consequences, even if it was an accident, which it was. He didn't mean to hit me. It was a genuine accident. That's why I thought it was so funny, because I'm like, people be walking around talking about something they got hit by accident, but they just be lying to cover up awful tragic things. But this was an accident. We were genuinely playing. It was also genuine. I just felt so bad. But he was like, you should read Wicked. And so I was like, okay. And so I would go take the book to the park, and I would performatively read in the park. And then after I left Texas to come to Pennsylvania, that was a decade ago. Well, no, that was 12 decades ago. No, it was just 12 years ago. After I left Texas to come to Pennsylvania, that's when my niece was born, I stopped reading the book. And then I just started listening to the play, because Defying Gravity was like this huge, amazing song that I really, really loved, and I wanted to hear it. But it wasn't even Defying Gravity. This is the craziest thing about it. Ariana Grande featuring Mika did like a cover or an adaptation of the song Popular, and that's how I discovered Wicked the musical. Like the music from Wicked, I discovered it through Ariana Grande. And then I started listening to the soundtrack, and now I'm like, those are Christian Chenoweth songs. Her name was Kristen Chenoweth. Those are her songs. I don't want to hear Ariana Grande sing them, which is actually crazy, because now that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't Defying Gravity. It was Popular, and then it was Defying Gravity. And then I just went through the whole thing and I played it. Then every day at the beginning of spring, I would play No One Mourns the Wicked. Anyways, today I feel like it's snowing. It's not a feeling. It's just a fact. Facts aren't feelings, but feelings are fact. I don't know. I just feel like, goddamn, feelings every day. I'm supposed to experience feelings every day, and then also identify them, and then also process them and alchemize them through my body and my mind and my soul. Is this living? Is that what living is? Is that why Paris started calling it sliving? I just need a sliver of living. Sliving. It's just a sliver of living. I know it means slaying and living. I know. I'm very familiar with Paris Hilton. I've been a fan of all these people longer than most of you people have been alive. Like, the idea, I know it's a thing. You're just getting older. It's not even that I'm getting older. It's just that time is passing and more humans are being born. And so there's more people who they wasn't around for shit. You just wasn't here. And I think that's why everybody's so freaked out about Ashley. So I was trying to figure out the Potomac housewife, because everybody kept saying she was like making out with her son, with that girl's son and that teenage boy. And I'm like, oh my God, we're not doing Bye Sister all over again, where we're turning something deeply like serious into drama, where we're just, let's talk shit about Ashley Darby. And then I'm like, okay, the son that she kissed or hooked up with or had sex with or whatever, he was 27. And so I zoom all the way out and I'm like, well, he has agency. He's a grown man. He can have sex with Ashley Darby if he wants to. Zooming all the way back in. That's so crazy. Why in the fugazi world would you sleep with somebody who just simply wasn't born for notable events? And the thing about that is, yeah, actually I would too. I think about Cher and Amber Rose's baby daddy all the time. And I'm like, yeah, no, when I'm 70, because marriage or children or whatever the fuck, none of that stuff would stop me. That when I'm 70, I'm going to want a hot young thing. And when I'm 70, that'll be 40 years from now. In 40 years, it's a bunch of people that aren't born yet that will be born. And by the time it's people being born right now that'll be 40 by the time I'm 70 or by the time I'm 80. But if I'm 80 and I can pull me like a hot young 40-year-old, I don't give a fuck that he wasn't born. But if I'm like 40 and he was like 17, I'm like, oh yeah, it's weird. And I'm like, okay, so words mean things. We've established that. So that's why we have terms like sex pest, because they're not criminal. They're not causing harm, but it is like a pest. It's gross. Like pests, shout out to Maya Higa. They have such vital function for the ecosystem, but they're gross and they're weird. And why do you have so many legs, eyes, and why do your skin move like that? And why you make them kind of noises, right? But they not, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get an ant bite and die. Well, maybe you will, because there's all kinds of ants. What are normal pests that won't harm you? None, because termites, I don't know. Pests for the most part are minimal harm. I'm just saying, like a pest versus an actual predator. Like, would you rather be? Well, listen, because about them Iowa highways, I might prefer a bear over them little fuzzy white bugs that be like, I can't describe it. Nobody knows what I'm talking about, but I'm here to tell y'all, I abandoned that car on the highway because that bug was not walking, nor was it jumping, nor was it running. It was just like, but it wasn't like slugging either. It was just like, but it was like white and fuzzy. Yo, it was crazy. And all of that, like, I got out the car because a spider came and happened. He came and he said, I need to borrow this real quick. It's an emergency. I think his wife, or maybe it was his kids, they was about to give birth, or maybe his daughter and his wife was about to give birth. And that's why it was like, he couldn't get into the drama of it. Cause it's like, it's not what it sounds like, but it is as crazy as it sounds. But my wife and my daughter are about to give birth. So I do need to borrow your car real quick. And so I was I was being courteous. He came down and sat politely on the steering wheel and said, can I use your car? And I was just like, yeah. I didn't even open the door. I just got out the car, out the window. I'm going to make this as efficient as possible for you, Mr. Arky, because you talk about your baby mama or your baby daughter or your baby. We don't know. That's the drama. However, by the time I stepped my foot out the car, everything around me, I already told the story. It was like flick out of a bug life. Anyways. The Iowa bugs. All that to say, you can date someone younger than you, and it's actually not that weird if they wasn't born, but depending on the context, it is weird, because there's people who they're alive right now. I mean, there's life happening right now that people are not alive for, and so they don't know. They just They won't know. They won't know what's happening because they're not here. And it's not like I could tell them and then something can jog their memory, which will happen to make them feel like they're here. No, they just wasn't here. That's why people like Morgan Freeman and Betty White just always look old to us, because for as long as I've been alive, them motherfuckers have been old. Yes, when they was young, they were young, but I wasn't around. So there's nothing anybody could say. It's no picture you could show me that will make me say, Morgan Freeman, that's a hot young thing right there, because he was young and hot. Well, actually, look up young Morgan Freeman, because he was actually very hot. So much so, I lost my train of thought. Anyway, every day except for Wednesday.